You know, as you bring your hand to your heart, many people have asked Shri and I, what's the Ascension Renaissance and why is it here? And part of it is what you're breathing and what you're feeling right now. It's that moment of deep connection with Gaia herself, with our cosmic heritage, with the absolute release of all judgment, to know and not be afraid to be. And in that moment, the truth will be revealed and it will illuminate.
This Renaissance is an expansion of consciousness. To be able to fully know I am not just this body. I am not just these thoughts, these emotions. I am a spiritual being celebrating my existence. Namaste, beloved ones, and welcome to Shri and Kira Live. I am wisdom teacher Shri Ram Ka.
And I am Master.
My beloved, Master Lady Kira Ra.
Thank you. And thank you for being here with us today in this moment. We are very, very grateful to see you and invite you to bring your hands to your heart. And Shri's going to guide us through a beautiful cleansing Ave Sa breath, because this is a moment of deep revelation. It's a moment of sacred connection, and it's a miracle moment in motion to be here with you right now. So let's just begin.
So, beloveds, as we move into present time to fully activate our entirety of our being, bring a hand to your heart if it's safe to do so. Allow your eyes to soften and breathe inwardly into your heart center, holding the intention Ave on the inhale. Hail to the divine. Here we go. Sa. Releasing fully. Smile. And let's do it again. Ave. Sa.
Thank you. How beautiful. And as we dive into this awareness moment, we want to invite you to really kind of sit back and take today's show in. You know, this is one you're going to want to listen to over and over again, because Shri and I, during this month of September and from here on out, will only be offering one Sunday service a month, and that is this one, the first Sunday of every month. So make sure you pencil into your calendar the first Sunday of every month to join us, when we will be doing exactly what we're doing today, which is receiving your questions in real time. Please make sure, if you're with us live, you put those in the comments over at YouTube, and Sue Sturdivant will be sending those to us. And also, during our sharing, if you have questions, please get them in. Sue is constantly in communication with us during these live broadcasts. We will be offering to you today a depth of sharing. And the reason that we wanted to start this with September is because of the depth that September calls in this moment.
Should we bring up the calendar?
Not yet. So if you didn't want to share anything, then I'll continue.
No.
I'm sorry, Shri. I'm happy to
Apologies.
continue. I know you're distracted.
I am. But the one thing I do want to say, as we kind of segue into the energies of September, is that I want to acknowledge all of you for having transited through August.
Yeah.
August has had so many series of opportunities to get sidetracked, opportunities to be, whoa, to have the energies push our egos, our emotions, and our thoughts. And we are coming into a magical month, and the stability is still not here in the sense of what will be here later in the month, and we're going to talk about that. But for right now, hey, way to go. For right now, breathe in and say, I am here. I am ready. I am open. And I am guided.
Ooh, I'm going to correct that back to guide me. Because in this moment, while we are guided into our guidance, so I am guided, guide me, right? Yes. I am guided, guide me. So I'm inviting that, because that's the energy of this moment.
Yes.
And I think we should talk about the elephant in the room, which is what was in the e-card. And The reason that we want to start with that, and for those of you that are not on our e-card list, please make sure, super easy to do, just go to shriankira.com and there it is. You can sign up. I think you have to go all the way to scroll the bottom. And our homepage is really big. There's massive content on the homepage. So please go in there. So if you're noticing that Kira's a little muted and that Shri is a little distracted, it is because, for those of you that may not know, on the blue moon, remember that blue moon last Wednesday, that incredible blue moon? Well, on that morning, after having received actually a warning of preparation from the Ascended Masters the day before, I went through a heart attack experience. And on Wednesday, that was Wednesday. And then on Thursday, had a second, more massive experience. And the one thing that Shri and I want to share with you today, and forgive me, I'm just trying to get a little more comfy next to my husband here, is that what we are aware of and what is happening in this September energy is through this alchemical transformation, through this moment where we are all being invited to really own that which I am as you are. And when you see the calendar for September, when we go through in depth the ascended numerology so that you can really understand it and unlock it and see what's happening there, each of us right now is being invited into an alchemical transformation that will carry us for the rest of this journey in this existence. This potentiality, without sounding any alarms, is simply at the 11:59 hour of our new world. And in many experiences, especially here at Tosa Blue Mountain, we have been modeling and living this energy for 7 years now. And we fondly call this the arc. And one of the things that I was sharing with Shri this morning is we had an interesting episode this morning, and I've got my big oxygen machine here for those of you that were with us yesterday, and I needed it during the miracle team. What we are aware of is that this experience has been a divine blessing because we are modeling a hospital of the future, a moment where, as when we were with the beautiful miracle team yesterday, where so much beauty and gifts and miracles happen and are unfolding already for the world, for all of us. The gift of what's happened for Shri and I is that when the initial heart attack came on in the blue moon, I felt no fear. And I want to share that with all of you, that if you have a major life-threatening incident come upon you and you are alone, and I was, and you have no one around you to rescue you, and I did not, that you really, it's fear that will make the difference in that moment. And this is why letting go of victim consciousness frees you to live in an eternal form, to be able to sustain what the body is telling you. Because there are many reasons my heart was attacked. And that's not the essence of what we're sharing with you today. What we are sharing with you is the miracle of our divine trust that the day before the Ascended Masters came through, I had a message I gave to Shri. It came through with urgency to the point where he was frustrated with me. There was so much urgency around it. We didn't understand it, neither one of us. And sure enough, the next day, everything that they had shared the day before became the components that have led Shri and I to be here sharing with you today. Now, I will share with you that I am not out of the woods as far as I don't have my routine back. I need oxygen most of the day, and I am unable to do any walking. A lot of walking, I walk. I'm doing exercises. But what Shri and I want you to hear as we go through the September revelations is that we are all in a moment of alchemical transformation. And if there should ever come a time before you when you or a loved one you feel might be having a heart attack, I am documenting the journey and every single thing we are doing. And I will share with you that for us, the miracle was having an epic laser literally on site and daily infusions of pure crystalline light into my heart, into my core, right? In addition to heavy oxygenation therapy and a whole lot of trust from the universe. There are ways through everything when consciousness guides. And that's the biggest message here, is that when the consciousness is holding the greater, when the knowing is resolute, when I am as you are comes in to be tested at every level of our divine experience, that's the moment when our divine mastery presence becomes that which is the informed awareness. And that is September, because we are each birthing. And there's a lot of dates we're going to go through around that.
You know, it's important to remember that your consciousness ultimately is the master healer.
Yeah.
Consciousness is healing. And as we come into present time, as we are able to be in a calm canvas of connectivity, and in that calm canvas of connectivity, that guidance is there. And in the case of the physical, that we're describing at this moment, oxygen, baby aspirin, and loving support make a
consciousness. And we're writing all this down, and I will release my journey, not as a roadmap, just as a journey.
And it's the same regardless, whether
Right.
it's a stub toe or an infarction. That when we bring consciousness to bear, as opposed to pushing away on the experience, feeling fear or terror or denial, and just be present with, we will be guided. There are pathways through. Remember, we exist on many levels. We're not just our physical body. We're not just our emotions, yet they're there.
Oh, yes.
We aren't just our thoughts, yet they're there. And so it goes till we reach our spiritual body and the consciousness that unifies all those medicines. Because those medicines are the journey of self-ascension.
5 medicines.
To be able to participate with and not drown in any one. When I say drown in, not dissolve your total identity into any one. Aren't these sweet?
I just had to, I'm smelling this geranium. Is that beautiful? Paulina, who works here every day, she brings Sri and I fresh flowers, and she brought these on Friday before she left.
These all grow on Tosa.
This is all from our property. Every flower here is always from our property. But look at that. Is that the most beautiful geranium? So I'm sorry, Sri, as Sri was sharing,
flowers.
I was just feeling the gift of the geraniums and wanted to share that gift with all of you. And Sri, I want to jump in and say, you know, this really does bring us to, I think, guys, let's start with the ascended numerology. Let's go there. Can we put up the chart?
You bet.
Because what's so important to notice about September is, first and foremost, let us remember that we are in a 13-month cycle, that this is the sea of neutrality floating in a potentiality that is so fluid that when 2023 heralded itself, it really didn't get going till February. So when you consider that we're going till March, we've really just hit kind of a halfway point. And that's what's so important about remembering. You notice, what are you seeing? Merkabah ignition. What was August, right? In August, it was all about igniting and opening that Merkabah of self-ascension. We had those 6 very powerful dates. We are so loved. We are so blessed by the universe that we are given all this time and attention. Now, what I want you to notice right here is something that has never, ever happened before. And if you gaze at the wheel, you're probably already going, what the heck is that, Kira? Well, let me explain it. The bridge of potentiality ignites, and we are in it right now. September 2023 is the 4 plus the infinite. So when we take the energy of a September in the energy of this year, in this potentiality, we arrive back at basically the cross of perfect balance in harmonic presence with our infinite self. However, remember that the energy of any a September is always the Merkabah. So we have this ignited Merkabah that is spinning, that has said, hey, I am here, and the energy is all about this 4. And then I want you to look at September 14. Right up top there, on September 14, and I'm going to show you this on the calendar, we enter into that new moon completion of this extraordinary reigning, R-E-I-G-N, reigning Mercury retrograde. And what happens? That happens to be another 8 plus the infinite. Now, why is that so profound? Why does that ignite this bridge of potentiality? Because it arrives as the double mirror of the 4. It is basically the hand of the cosmic universe reaching out to all of us and saying, look, you have an opportunity to rescript your trajectory through alchemical transformation. You are birthing into your new form now. Look at your physical body. Where is the 4? It is the root chakra. It is your beingness itself. This month, I just want to show you the journey. Then we're gonna take your questions and share more about it. But look at the journey this month. You begin right now. You're here. You are in your beingness as an infinite presence. From that 4 on the right-hand side, you see how that arrow goes straight up to that dotted line? That dotted line is the infinite presence. That's that divine mastery energy that's coming right into you right now. So here we are, and we have this beingness that is going right out into the infinite. And in this moment, right now, everything that you are has ignited a bridge of potentiality for every one of the dreams that you have ever held to come true. This is the moment. This is it. And then on the 14th, when that new moon rises exactly in harmony with the completion of that Mercury reigning retrograde, we collide right back into that 8, that double infinite presence of the archangelic realm as a trinity of support that lands us into our lotus chakra. Now, when we go into the lotus chakra, it's saying, look, as of the 14th, we're going to ignite a cycle within a cycle. And that cycle is going to spin from the 14th to the 23rd. Why is that going to happen? It's a secondary up level within a moment of awareness. So I just want to stop. Number one, I'm losing my breath. I'm going to sit back and probably put on some oxygen when I let Sri share more. But what I want you to hear that's really important in this moment is that right now, I mean, literally, and it started September 1st, every single experience, belief, I mean, everything's on it. There is nothing that's not, right? Everything is an alchemical transformation, including your physical body. Why did I have 2 heart attacks, beginning the first one on the blue moon? Because my body, my heart has been is suffering quite a bit lately on many different levels. And so it was the final piece of my alchemical transformation. So notice what is happening in your life right now. And then it was my choice, with everyone crying and screaming at me, including my husband, begging me to go to a hospital. It was that moment where I had to stand. I had to be in the truth of all that I have shared for 21 years with all of you. In that moment, what I know is true was that for me, in the experience of consciousness that I carry in harmony with my husband and all of you, that going to the hospital would have indeed killed me, because I am unable to interface with that experience of density. And I will again stress that it is your level of consciousness and your ability to hold zero fear and complete trust that has Sri and I as a unit still talking to you today. So breathing that in the energy of an alchemical transformation that is happening to the entire planet right now in a moment of divine awareness. Notice in this moment, because at the end of this month, guess where we wind up? The heart. That's where this month takes us. That's where we wind up. But I'm going to get to that cycle within a cycle in a moment as well.
So as we take a breath for a
Yes,
moment,
please.
you know, one of the things that Master Lady Kira Ross shared a few sentences back was that we are at a time where all your dreams are available to manifest. And there is a week, this bridge energy that we're in,
And we'll show you the calendar.
The 4-4 energy, which creates the 8, which is the divine. 4 is balance. Ultimate balance is that divine connection, the archangelic realm. And I just want to encourage each of you, because I've had my own reminder experiences in the last few weeks as the jostling around and the Mercury retrograde energies and the various things that have been in our realm of experience. What I have witnessed in my own bodies is that residual imprints have surfaced up into my experience as if they were real.
You should say that again.
Residual imprints, impressions, judgments, hurts,
Whatever
it might be, have colored my experience as if that was really going on now, but it isn't. It's like someone put too much salt in the soup. You know, the old experience, the old trauma, the old stuff, whatever it might be for you, you know, you're tasting it and it's coloring this experience, but it's independent. It really, the more consciousness we bring, we begin to recognize, oh, that just needs love and healing. Let's just love that into resolution as opposed to dance with it like Don Quixote in the windmill. Oh, you know, this is what happens so often when we have a convergence of energies is we have healing opportunities as well as up-level opportunities, and really they're part and parcel of the same, are they not?
Yes, they are. And, you know, as Sri was sharing, what I was hearing, Sri, was, I will share with all of you, was what was kind of like going on in my head as Sri was sharing was love,
Love.
right? You know, that one of the aspects that has happened on this planet is that love has been so manipulated, twisted, defined, limited, and that the experience of love itself is to claim the truth of that which you are. Imagine the freedom when you honestly know who you are without reservation, when you can really harness that gift into you. And in that love, you know, sometimes love is just, I don't know, I don't want to use the word old fashioned, but it has so many different experiences around it that it's about lifting the consciousness through the gift of the emotional body, those 5 medicines of the yoga of self-ascension, and arriving into that moment of non-judgment. Remember, that's what sustains 7th dimensional frequency, is when we can release the judgment of the self and sustain that. Because until you can fully release self-judgment, you will eternally be judging others. And it's just a delusion to think that you stopped, and many times we tell ourselves the greatest lies. However, the gift is to love that as well, to recognize that the divine mastery presence that I am as you are is ever present and ready to lead. You are, the sacred union exists here first. Read our first book again, Sacred Union, The Journey Home. Sri and I arrived meeting each other in sacred union, complete and whole, with our desire to simply be in that divine connection and to serve. And so that is where the first sacred union begins. And September's rebirth and alchemical transformation. Let's put up the calendar, Sri. I want to share it with everyone. Thank you. Wild calendar, right? You're going, wow, wait a minute. What happened, Kara? Did you forget something? No, I did not. This is cycles within cycles. So first and foremost, Sri, why don't you read to us what it says right at the top there?
Right at the top, the Merkabah of self-ascended presence ignites all the higher chakras as the unified field of the all calls out for greater presence.
So now let your eyes relax, and what you're going to see is that this graphic, I remember when this graphic came together, I remember feeling it very deeply, because it was not just about the Merkabah presence as you relax through the numbers and you really gaze at the art. It was also about the Merkabah presence and the ignited cosmic consciousness. And if you look at the first, and you look back at what would have been August 28th, last Monday, those were intentionally put in there. So on August 28th, as we first stood in the shadow, remember last Wednesday, August 30th, was that blue moon. So as you're gazing at the September calendar, kind of fill in the numbers there, okay? So if you go back from the first and you look at Wednesday, Wednesday was the center and the experience of the new creation, and that was the blue moon. And if you go 2 days before that, that was when the first cosmic eye presence ignited at a level that we have not seen before in the energy of the blue moon. Monday through Friday last week were all about the blue moon. And then on Saturday, we started spinning into opening our eyes, and you see the week ahead. The week of September 3 through 9 is powerful because the cycle within a cycle begins on the 14th. And the reason that's important is that the 8th, if you look at Friday the 8th, you see right there, that's the final eye. So right now, the 1st through the 8th, these 8 days are the days of, they're calling them the days of instantaneous creation that are now harnessing and opening the portals into formed reality of what you will call 2024. And I want you to breathe that in. Because look at the 14th, look at the week right after that. So here we have all this energy that we're holding right now. And remember, where are we as far as ascended numerology is concerned? We're all still right there in that beautiful base chakra, realizing, recognizing, I am safe to be. I am safe to be me. I am as you are. And then look at the 14th. That's that dual Mercury retrograde releases, the new moon rises, and the 14th through the equinox of the 23rd. And the reason it's saying the 23rd is it actually occurs in the middle. It's like 1:47 a.m. But that is the cycle within the cycle, the 14th to the 23rd. That cycle is going to give us such profound creation. And I'm going to stop the share because we actually hit a second go when that cycle within the cycle from the 23rd to the 29th ignites even more. So as we are moving through this month and as all of these cycles are up leveling, I want to put up the ascendant numerology one more time because I want to remind you of something. Look at the body there. Look at the dates, right? I did not put the 8th on there because those 8 days of creation that we're in right now are not affected by ascended numerology. They're a product of it because of the bridge of potentiality and the power of the 4 to the 8 that comes up again on the 14th. But looking at the physical body right now, look at your root chakra. What does it ask you to do? To be, to claim your beingness, to know you deserve because you were born. You would not be here. You would not be doing anything if you didn't already deserve it. And to finally accept that outside of any sense of superiority and just to smile in the knowing of the truth and the dance of the joy. And right now, all that you are in the eternal essence of all that is saying, hey, you're ready. You're ready. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But here's what's so profound, and I want to take us to that equinox. So on the 14th, when the Mercury reign completes, not only does it leave us in our lotus chakra, it leaves us in the lotus chakra still connected to the infinite. I mean, do you see all the infinites this month? It's extraordinary. And then on that equinox, when we anchor harmonic balance for all of humanity, it's the 2, it's a prime, and it brings us to the infinite again. And what is the 2, my loves? It's the heart. And it's the physical heart. And so taking a breath, and if you've been chatting, Sri will start looking at some of your questions. But while he's doing all of that, I want to share something with you because I very briefly mentioned the equinox there. And those of you that, the heart thing. For 3 years, 3 linear years in this potentiality. 3 years ago, maybe 4 now. You guys know me, right? Always double check me when I give you times. I remember when the Ascended Masters first came to me and said, you are Master Lady Kira Ra, and it is time for you to step into that. And I remember freaking out and not wanting to do it because I was very clear. Number 1, the name. Number 2, I knew where it would go. I saw, and they were so kind. That's how you always know when it's real because they're so kind, just like they always show you and give you a choice. And they showed me those that would rise, those that would fall, and they showed me the flow. But at the end of the day, they showed me a potentiality where we could love each other again. A potentiality where we could let go of the illusion that makes us think we don't agree with each other or that we don't like each other or that we were repelled by whatever illusionary concept wants us to believe that. And in my naivety, and I really do believe I was very naive having lived in this beautiful bubble that my beautiful husband has sustained for us for so long, I really thought everyone would want unification. I really did. I really had no idea that my mere presence would threaten them because of my authenticity. Because Shri and I live the path of transparent authenticity. And for 21 years, we've been on the air with you, and you can go back to videos, and I challenge you, go back. And what you'll see is something you don't see a lot in this potentiality, and that's consistency. And my heart over the past 3 years, I would be taken in by those who would make false promises and many who speak with forked tongues. For the first time in my life, I publicly came out with my Indigenous heritage. And little by little, I started watching the world through a very different experience. And I got to revisit racism, and I got to revisit what it's like to be a brown-skinned woman, and I got to revisit what it's like to be a woman at all, and really got to revisit the complete rejection of anything that wasn't based upon, first, how much money will it make? The old adage, you know, Shri and I are both former CEOs. We were both extremely successful. I was known, I was on Good Morning America. I had a very famous series out, many, many different things. I was known for helping more people become millionaires in my little circle than that had happened in that time. And so, yeah, I was very bought into density. And I was Republican at that time because I was working with a Texas group. And what I will share with you is that the past 3 years have shown me that consciousness is really doing its best to give you a wide berth to grow, to give you the opportunity to flourish, and to give you the gift of knowing you called it forward, of knowing your journey, of knowing you did it. And so as Shri and I, over the past 3 years, and it wove me through all these organizations, some of them you guys know, and very, very famous people that you guys all know. And I activated some of my root heritage, which I did intentionally to try and forward the momentum. And you might ask me why. You know, what did the Ascended Masters say to Shri and I that we have literally taken 100% of our life force up to the point where it's now a physical heart is now been thrown into the life force pot. It's like, how much more do we need to get this done, right? Because we live among, and I think that sometimes many of you forget that Shri and I are ministers, not internet ministers. We're bona fide, licensed, degreed ministers. And that matters to us more than anything. And the universe sent us from North America in 2010 when I had a very strong vision that I won't share. But we knew we would have to be anchored, and we knew it would be South America. We just didn't know where. And arriving home to Tosa Blue Mountain and the light arc that this is gave us the blessing, and especially after I came out with my Indigenous heritage, gave us the blessing to be accepted by Indigenous tribes here that have never come out of the woods, by people that are trusting their future with us, and that are inviting us to be a part of the future. And it's not just Shri and I. All we are is a surrogate for you. That's all we are. We are your surrogate. And these people are coming to a miracle. And that miracle is happening right here, September 22nd, as a birth, as a launch of an even bigger miracle. And so as you bring your hands to your heart, that miracle happening here, September 22nd, and it actually begins on the 20th, on September 20th, for the first time ever. We will be gathering. I mean, this is truly worldwide mainstream news. Help us get their attention. We have over 40 Indigenous representatives coming, many for the first time. They have never even left the jungles before, because the prophecies are rising. And this is part of the September predictions, which is why we're sharing it. And thank you for hanging in to hear why, because you need to understand how important this is. These people are coming because even within their tribes and their villages, all of the elders, all of the prophecies are converging. This is the moment of unification. This is the moment. And so in your heart right now, knowing this is the moment of unification, knowing this is when they're coming forward, look at the dates before us. Look at what's coming in. What are you willing to do? Do you walk away because what I'm sharing right now, you don't want to hear, you just want the what's in it for me? That's cool. Because that's what happens on our planet. We are in a what's in it for me planet. Or can we challenge you to take just even a midgen of your life force, of your love and your joy, and say, you know what? Let me do this because it's just the right thing to do. Because that's why they're all coming. Not one of them is being compensated. Everyone, musicians, we have bands, national musicians, beautiful people flying in from all over the world. And you're welcome to fly in and be here too. And at the very least, be there for the broadcast on the 22nd. But I'm talking about being here for the conclave. We have incredible videographers and documentary filmmakers here. We have people that are here representing organizations that have been, up till now, not real supportive of what we're doing. And so this is a blessing from the heavens itself because of you and because of Global Minga, because a lot of people are in need. And if your heart is moved at all, help us support these people. Please go to ShrinCare.com. Please offer a donation. Please offer your heart, your love, your support. Help us get to media. If you can't offer a financial donation, which is 100% legitimately tax deductible, then please help us find the media. Help us get to the people. Because here at the Pyramid of Peace, at the 1-year anniversary, I think the greatest miracle of all is happening. The first conclave of unification of the Indigenous elders, where we will sit together every day, where we will hear the needs of these tribes. And my angels, you know, the needs of these tribes are clean water, homes, the ability to grow crops, the ability to be able to communicate. The medicine people will all be here, and they are offloading the medicine. We will be sending a biologist back with them to start getting the chemical components to make sure that we can bring these out to the world. We are at that moment, and so are you. And September, I'm going to put the calendar back up again because I want to go back and make sure that I didn't cut it short for you. September is when the unified field of the all calls out for greater presence. And the cosmic universe, this is a huge, don't doubt you'll see some significant cosmic connections this month. Expect them all month long. They're going to be appearing everywhere. And I want to talk again. We are in the first cycle, the 1st through the 8th. After this show, after this broadcast today, the universe has called me to bring forward the entire predictions for 2024 and to start looking at the calendar. That is really good news, because up until this moment, even though I'm on deadline with Sedona Journal, I didn't even see them. So the gift of this 1st through the 8th moment, the gift of this blue moon amplification, remember, we came running into September, is that this 1st through the 8th cycle is pull it forward, bring in your vision, make it rich. You're out in the universe, because on the 14th, it's all going up into where? It's going up into that beautiful lotus chakra, right? We're all going to be moving around. And then look at the equinox when it comes into our heart, our physical heart. So imagine all of your dreams, everything's manifesting, and it's all coming forward. It's going to have a cycle within a cycle from the 14th to the 23rd. And then what happens from the 23rd to the 29th? Well, when you look at the 29th, that is that extraordinary full moon and simultaneous full release of that Mercury retrograde that we're in right now. And the only way I can describe it is all systems go. Everything is going. It's going to amplify. It's going to recycle. It's going to come together. And what I'm eager to hear is what's going on in your world and what you guys are sharing with us.
We've got some stuff. And, you know, I just want to, on a fun little side note.
We love fun side notes.
The broadcast software we use sends a little happy golden thumbs up whenever you click on the like symbol in YouTube. And I'm just delighted every once in a while we see these floaty.
You guys are making our, I love seeing all, you're so beautiful.
And it reminds me of one of the joys of being in a live congregation.
Yes,
where
which
people,
I miss.
you know, where people offer those spontaneous amens or whatever it might be. And we really love that electronically we get a little of that here, as well as the energetic of feeling your love and your presence.
So let's go to your love and presence. And I also want to share that, I just saw another one. Thank you guys. Because we're not in the chat, and that in this moment of unified field, remember of the power. Oh God, you guys are amazing. The power of our unified field is the gift of us together.
Yes.
Whew. And I'm having a little heart pain, so I'm just going to sit back for a minute while Shri reads.
Yeah. And so I want to remind us all that we are cosmic beings. Yes. We are far beyond the mind's ability to understand.
Forgive me, guys.
There you go. Take care of it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm kind of
little boost.
embarrassed, but it does feel yummy.
Well, and that reminds me to remind you that what is the essence of sustaining your physical body?
Avesa breath.
The avesa, the avesa breath. It's the prana that comes in, the
Yes.
oxygen that comes in, clean water, and nourishing food, and
Yes.
we can keep going for far longer than density would predict.
And the Om Aum, which you find in the app. Remember, that's in there and it's free. And if you don't have the app, Spiritual Mastery for Sri and Kira, get it. Because sincerely, it was my utilization of the Om breath and the Avesa breath at times when I was actually watching my heartbeat drop below 49 beats a minute, where I was able to really bring myself back.
Yeah, that practice is a beautiful gateway and stabilizing for the body. So here, let's share some of these beautiful comments. Marianne says, Soul family, namaste, sending love and healing to Master Lady Kira Ra. And Leslie shares, hello, everybody. Hello. I feel so blessed to be here with you all and blessed to have Sri and Kira in my life. I love you all.
And we love you so much.
And Sandra says, love this beautiful community. Blessed Kira, sending you healing emerald energy.
Yes.
Rest
yes,
and be
you.
yourself. And dear Shri, thank you for your devotion to MLKR. Take care of you too. Thank you.
We love you so much. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you. And here's a question. Beloved teachers, how can we as a community love you both even more?
Oh.
How can we support the yoga of self-ascension this week?
Well, I'd like to jump in and say, number one, by living your best life. You know, it really, the 4 steps of self-ascension, you know, go to shriandkira.com. There's a tab, drops down all kinds of practices. Really look at the alchemy of self-ascension, which is on the What is Self-Ascension page, because loving us is by knowing the work will continue. By knowing, you know, Manly Hall was the last one who tried to bring self-ascension to the planet, and it didn't work then. And Helena Blavatsky and the Ascended Masters in the late 1800s knew that Avesa needed to be gone during the 1900s as well. And so when these two beautiful gifts, the self-ascension that is Avesa within, unified, it's for you. It's for you to live your best life. And remember, September, right now, your dreams are going to manifest if you can. Don't look at the garbage, right? I could have let this take me out. What I know is I'm rebirthing. You're rebirthing. We're all in alchemical transformation. And I promise you, September 22nd, I will be dancing on that stage.
Remember, we are energy. And smile.
Yeah.
Because joy is the portal that will lift you into the expanded consciousness.
Exactly.
Here we go. More sharing.
I do want to share one more thing, just because they were kind of like telling me to share. A way you can support us is to help more people find us. The more people that understand, you know, the new books are out. They're very inexpensive. We did that so that money would never be a problem. So, you know, first Sunday of every month, come join us for Revelations. And hey, remember, we're still in those beautiful Monday Mastery is going to be our primary focus. Monday Mastery and Divine Mastery Presence. So be there. Share the word of you. Live your life. We'll invite others to ask what you're doing right.
As you trust your Divine Mastery Presence, you are embodying the yoga of self-ascension.
You'll walk into a room and everybody will go, what are you doing?
All right. So let's see. We've got a few more comments. Jerry says, my heart hugely opened yesterday during our Miracle Team ceremony and that experience. And I just want to share that once on the first Saturday of every month, the members that are participating via the app, we gather together and do a special ceremony. So that's another opportunity to nourish your up level.
Well, and I do want to share that every month we have bona fide miracles. And yesterday's ceremony, I do want to give a shout out to all of you that are Mastery Team members. And if you have our app, which is free, go learn about Mastery membership. I mean, you can begin for as little as $8 a month. I mean, that's less than a cup of coffee a week. And when we come together yesterday, please know that you feel it was a blessing to feel all of you and to feel the momentum that collectively it was because we were, keyword, unified. This is why this equinox, this conclave, what we're doing, this is so important for the world. So I love you so much, and thank you for loving the world, because remember, all of that membership is what keeps Global Minga going. And so help us help more. Yeah.
Yeah, and just before I go back to the rest of them, I
Yeah.
want to segue on that. Global Minga is what we call our outreach, because in essence, Minga is a community project. It means
Yes.
neighbors helping neighbors.
Kind of like a barn raising.
And here we have a Minga every month to clean the water systems
Whatever
and
they need.
whatever the community wants feels is important for the benefit of all. And as we come forward for this equinox experience, it emerged quite naturally that these
It's true.
representatives from the Amazon would be here. We didn't intend that. We were open to the guidance that allowed this to emerge. And that if you can participate in the live stream that Friday night, just know that that very tiny donation that is requested goes to help feed these elders.
A
That's what it's
hundred
for. That's all it's
percent.
for.
100%. 100%. And so just know, and the miracle team yesterday was really quite kind, because it's hosting all these people is now involving quite a bit. We're actually with the mayor. I'm actually going to bring my little portable oxygen machine to go sit with the mayor tomorrow morning. There's a lot happening, and it's the blessing of you. You are Global Minga. We are Global Minga.
Yeah.
Sri, what else? Any questions or comments
Let's see
we can
where we
share?
go here. Well, there's more appreciation. Goshko says, thank you so much, beautiful lady, Master Kira. And thank you, Shri, for being you.
We love you.
And back at you.
We feel you, sweetheart.
We are all in this together.
Indeed.
And Nava writes, I'd like to do more. What will be the best way to move forward to expand more for myself and all?
Well, the first thing is what we already said, Nava Angel, is for you to just hold, the key is that in 2023, remember, we are in the STORM, in that sea of neutrality. So let's all open that sea of neutrality. Remember that your heart and my heart as well, all of our hearts hold that, right? So it's I am here as the sea of neutrality. And once we ignite the sea of neutrality, from there, we are able to anchor our divine mastery presence into formed awareness. You, my angel Nava, have all the capacity, as does all of us, that through your anchored awareness and the release of doubt, and I just want to put up, because I think everybody's kind of going there. Sri, do we have there it is. Woohoo, we do. So there it is. I want to just do a quick reminder, because remember that Merkabah is equilateral, and that anything that is in an equilateral form keeps us basically navigating density in a more awake state, but it does not assist us to enter into the ascended state of holding consciousness. So remember that behind that, if you relax your eyes through the text, you see that's your eternal presence as a 0-point generator in the torus field of creation. That's always there. But you see right there, victim, rescuer, abuser, what is that? We all know what that is. That's the victim triangle. But if you put a heaping, helping dose of fear, doubt, and hesitancy with it, that's when we self-sabotage. So what do you want to do? Remember that anytime that shows up, it's not real. And to command, because that 0-point gravity field, that divine master, we are at a moment of consciousness on this planet, as I have actively and am actively demonstrating, where we can literally transcend even heart attacks. However, it requires a level of mastery consciousness that you are capable of attaining, or they would not have invited this body to demonstrate it for you.
It's important to remember we're not in Kansas anymore, so to speak. that the
I'm glad I have my
world,
oxygen on.
so our mind loves to impose the past on the future, on the now. Our mind loves to say it's a pattern machine. It's a piece of software that says, oh, this is just like it was, or that's what someone else said. It isn't.
Yeah.
The now is an emergent revelation.
Indeed.
That is here to nourish your mastery.
Ooh, I love that.
And to nourish our mastery, we need to show up.
Right?
You just show up with love, with presence. And as we show up, we will be informed. And this comes back to Nava's question. As you live your life in divine trust, passion will arise. You will know where you are to be and what you are to do. And we thank you for being open to that.
You'll have a heart attack and you won't be afraid.
Okay. All right. Let's see here.
Dear Therese.
Dia says, yes, lady sister Kira, my 36 hours inside of a head on fire or heart on fire
Head on fire, yeah.
experience screamed, going to the hospital will surely kill me. Exactly.
Consciousness.
And she says, thanks to you and Sri for being there and holding my hand. Love and trust heal.
Yes, underline, score. Thank you for sharing, Angel. Another affirmation of consciousness, right? And you and I have been together. We both recognize the presence of divine consciousness.
And Rachel says, I love you, and I'm singing it back to you.
I love you too, sweetheart.
And Bhatia says, thank you, teachers, for walking your walk. It's our time to walk our walk and share our flame of light. It's our time to claim our truths, and I claim the knowing. And we are here ready to serve thee all.
Yes, we are. You got it, babe.
And Gary shares, the fact that you ended up with an ancient master temple on your property and that you are custodians is amazing and an unbelievable synchronicity in itself. Mind-blowing. So what Gary is sharing is here at Tosa Mountain is a
original temple of light.
Original temple of light. Yeah. Ancient.
Minimum
beyond
million
the cycles
years old,
of our archaeological history.
And it's all here, and when you come, Sri and I are very blessed and honored to walk you up and show
lots
you
of physical evidence of it.
Lots of dragon carvings and lions and incredible petroglyphs. And thank you. And Gary, you know, what I always find amazing about that sharing is that when Sri and I purchased the property, I was so sick and my knees were so bad that neither one of us went up that property, went up to the very top for about 3 years. And
we were pretty occupied right here with the...
I think I lived here 3 years before I even got... And then after our local Indigenous neighbors saw our love and respect, they came and revealed the site that they have held buried. Nobody who owned it knew it was there. And they did that because their own convergence. Like I said, all the prophecies are converging.
Yeah. No, this is
it's a powerful
this
moment.
Time of prophetic unification. And
come walk the temple of light.
Mary de Bruno speaks to that.
Hi, Mary.
She shares here, I have had this vision of unification for so long.
Yes.
Thank you, beloved Master Lady Kira Ra and Wisdom Teacher Sri Ram Kaur.
Well, and it's no accident that you're flying all the way over from South Africa to be here for this moment, because you've obviously had a future vision of a past event happening in the now. And this is where the potentialities start moving. So all of you that have been called to be here on site, I sense have had strong visions of this. And all of you that will be with us on the broadcast live, and all of you that are feeling this moment of unification has had a lot of energy to stop it. So let us all keep holding the energy that has it happen.
There's many beings here offering great love and healing energy, and we appreciate it so much. Tim writes, Sri and Kira sending you love and gratitude for your endless service to humanity, especially during this past week of trials.
Thank you.
And yes, we appreciate that very much. And Janet says, or asks, how can we keep our consciousness open for more to have the intention of resurrection?
I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. It is that simple. It is that simple. Over and over again. I can't tell you. As I was crawling, I was down on our property. Those of you that have been here, the first heart attack came when I was down at the Temescal area. I was actually walking the dogs with Sri and just coming back. And when I ran, it seemed to have triggered what happened. And what got me through was no fear. I almost smiled. I was just like, I am here, I'm ready, I am open, guide me. And I really do bow before all. And Archangel Zadkiel so many years ago, reminding Sri and I to keep your eyes on the divine at all times. Because if we anchor, really anchor, keep your eyes on the divine at all times, you become the living essence of Namaste, do you not? I am as you are. And so in a moment where your heart is being attacked and you are conscious that there is a choice point, you fear no evil because your eyes are on the divine. And the way that I hold that is through the mantra of self-ascension, so deeply ingrained that it just becomes an automatic response. I am here, I am ready, I am open, guide me. And in that moment I did, with complete non-attachment to this body of form, I was very available and have received extraordinary guidance.
And I want to underscore a discernment for your
Yes.
consciousness that this mantra is universal,
Yes, non-dogmatic.
non-dogmatic, and it opens you to receive the blessings of the ascended masters and the guides that are here for you. So often we have been taught in earlier years to say, rescue me, heal me, and really the to come to the ascended realm as a victim saying, fix it. The ascended realm will basically smile and say, you can do this.
And we are doing it together. You can do this, and we are doing it together. Remember, together we are better. You are the eternal presence in formed awareness.
Yes.
And, Shri, another miracle, I just have to quick shout out. Sue had just forwarded this. Another miracle happened. Our beloved family brethren member of Stardust, Za, is going to be with us in Ecuador.
Beautiful.
So a miracle where Za will be joining us here in Ecuador for the event. Who else is going to be the miracle? All of you. We love you. And please go to shrincare.com. Remember that Monday Mastery. Let's see you there. Let's dive, or let's really hold this. Let's create this wave that will sincerely be the ripple of the sea of neutrality to sustain peace for all. And on the 1-year anniversary of the consecration of the Pyramid of Peace, the miracle of unification is beginning, and the grand renaissance of this rainforest energy, the rainforest renaissance, is birthing. So much happening, angels. Stay tuned. Get on our e-card list. You really want the updates.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't talk anymore, but I love you.
I just want to underscore for the permanent record that we are gathering on the 1-year anniversary of the consecration of this amazing bamboo pyramid, the world's largest high aspect ratio bamboo pyramid. And what we have seen in the past year is somewhere between a 30 and 40% increase in the production of crops in the whole valley.
Incredible.
We've seen the weather shift. We've seen birds and animals return that were,
including porcupines.
We now have porcupines, and nobody knew what they were
They've never been here.
and I'm just smiling because
the
radiation above 600 on David Hawkins' scale is the peace that passeth all understanding.
It really is.
And so to have these elders come from various independent parts of the Amazon jungle
and see this pyramid,
and to be in this energy of peaceful assembly, so to speak, the conclave, loving each other and being in that opportunity, we are, all of us, through our mutual support, through the meditative connection, through every level, we are creating together, consciously, the Eden that we took birth to experience.
Oh, our little ark at Tosa Blue Mountain.
This is happening, beloved ones. It is so. And I want to offer a love, an embrace to all of you as I embrace my Kira as she works through the physical elements and all the levels that need to be fully up-leveled. We thank you for your support. We thank you for being here. We thank you for your conscious participation. We'll see you soon.
Real soon.
Namaste.